Okay. Welcome back to Delta T Racing, Division 3. Straight into Portugal. Stream is good. Let's see if there's any weather predictions from the drivers. No rain thus far. Let's see. Everyone out there on the softs at the moment. Let's see, I believe tyres will be the first one round, but most people look like they're on laps. Never mind, AJ. Already people coming around. Headless King, fastest time at the moment. 17.7. Good lap. Suarez teammate Dan Glebels he's on the runs line now. Looks like he may have invalidated his lap time. McLaren next up, that will be Stewart doing a 17.9. Then tyres who does an 18.2. Next up will be one of the Alphas, that will be Evan. And Evan goes second with an 18.823. I believe Zabi's just crossed the line for a 17.9. Aston Martin behind him invalidated his lap time seemingly. Gunnar goes fastest with a 117.67. Very close gaps thus far. And most of the top 8 being all different teams until Billy there stuck himself up into 6th, with Struvuli going 8th. So Dan Glebels he has invalidated again. See if he pits now. No, he opts to go around for another lap. That would have not been a great lap time anyway, only a 22.0. So maybe coming around to have another crack at it. Let's see. McLaren again next round. Then the Aston Martin of Tony. Right on board on the run-ups for line. And 17.1. Wow, what a time. That's a good 5 tenths clear of what anyone else has done. So that's one to watch. See, Dan Glebels now looking to put in a more competitive lap time, considering he did have his spin. Runs wide and invalidates. Spritzy goes second, just ahead of Gunnar. Skelios invalid, but they're on outlaps. Same with Gerjo. So, let's see, Fox Blue not on a lap, 3 seconds off the pace. Stewart invalid. Billy has a purple first sector, he's a temp up on his time, that's right on board with this. Into Samsung, I believe. I don't know the corners very well around here. Or is it this one? Running very low on ERS deployment. Still about 10.5 up on his time. Will lose time from not having very much ERS. Gunnar's done 17.11, so that is way up there. Billy improves to 17.8. He is on the oldest tyres, so presumably will pit and put on a new set of softs. Let's see. Gerzo next round to complete a lap. Only an 18.4 from Gerjo. Surprising. Skelios invalid. Next round will be Elmerix. I believe he's invalidated. Maybe Skelios going again by the looks. See what its first stick to split time is. .1. One of the Hasses around on an outlap. Valtteri on an outlap. Got one of the McLarens behind him. I believe that might be Billy. Hope that's someone getting blocked. I believe Headless King is coming round again for another lap. Also finish a lap. So we'll see what lap time he sets. Runs a tight line up to the line and he does a 17.3. Putting him in third place. Gerjo opts to pit. Skelios goes second with that lap time. Another person in the 17.1s. Very close. Just a couple of tenths covering P5 to P11. So, very, very close at this moment in time. Let's see if any of the drivers who haven't set a time are on laps. Valtteri is the next person to come round out of those who haven't set laps. Let's see what he does. Goes 8th for the 17.7. I believe Dan Glovels will be next round. Through that long sweeping right onto the blast to the line. Doesn't take the shortest possible route, but does a 17.8. See the Racer 21 on a lap right now by the looks. Not sure what's gone on with the sector times there. I didn't see what time he did. Elmerix on an outlap. Only other driver not to have set a time so far. Tony has invalidated. Some starting lap. Can't seem to find anyone who's coming around finishing the lap. Maybe Valtteri? No, he's in the pits. Tony coming around. Start a lap now. See what his first sector split looks like. He's a tenth up on his time. So already that will be provisional pole for him. A little bit of a squirrely exit out of the hairpin. Yellow flag, that looks like one of the Hasses spun it in the final sector. Opts for a nice tight line. Still about a tenth and a half up by the looks. Maybe more time to gain in these final couple of corners. Little bit of lag there for Tony. Elmerix has gone second. I must have missed that. Tony goes faster than 16.9. Good lap time. His teammate Elmerix is marginally down on his time. I believe he'll be on an in-lap. Billy goes on a 16.8. So, starting to see some more competitive lap times from the current championship leaders. Speaking of the championship, let's look at how things are after Austria. Fox Blue still has the lead of the championship by 11 points at this moment in time, over Gerjo in second, and then it's a further 19 points to Stewart in third. But the top three in the championship not necessarily having the best qualifying at the moment, with Fox Blue being 7th, Gerjo 11th, and Stewart only 18th. Let's see what tyres they were done on though. Xavier and Stewart opting for the mediums, so I'm believing we haven't seen the best from them yet. Stewart has invalidated his current lap time, so he will not be continuing. Valtteri isn't on a lap at the moment. That might be one of the Williams coming around. Huss into the pits. Billy behind into the pits. Don't know what that Aston Martin dog's doing. That was Tony. Might need to look into that one. That was very interesting. Maybe a mistake or something there. Gerjo coming around into the pits. Not happy with his effort. Big Man comes round, stays 19th. Mercedes next round, but that will be a Scalios. Sorry there, everybody. My headset seems to be playing funny buggers, so let's just have to see how things go. Skelos stays 5th, Headless King 9th. I believe that's an improvement. Valtteri up to 12th, overtakes Lejake, who is marginally up on his time through the first sector. Evan on an outlap. Big Man, I believe, maybe on a lap. C. Right on board out of this final corner. Or off board, shall we say. Nice shot. Stays 19th. Racer 21, not on a lap at the moment. Lejake drops to 14th. Tyres goes 13th. But Lejake is a 10th and a bit off on his time, so he would go back ahead of Valtteri in tyres if he keeps his lap together. And he does, he goes 9th. 117.3 for Lejake. Thing just ahead of Headless King, who comes round and doesn't improve on his lap time. Let's see. Fox Blue on an outlap. Guna, let's see where he is. Not on a lap right now. Big Man has invalidated. See what the Racer 21 can do. The only person hasn't managed to hit the 118s, well, even the 170s. Well, no, Big Man yet to hit the 117s, but we'll see what the Racer 21 can pull out. I believe he has had a few invalidated lap times during this. A lot of understeer through that second last corner. See what he does on the run to the line. 18.5, so a big improvement, not enough to go ahead of anybody else though. Valtteri is out, and I believe I just saw Stewart spin. Indeed. That's just after the split for the second sector into the third. Rejoins pretty safely, opting to cool off his tyres, maybe give his teammate a tow. Let's see if that does happen. No, he lets his teammate by with very little resistance. It's Evan on a lap behind, but Billy will be the next person round. See what he does. Doesn't improve. Not sure if that's the game being funny, but we will see. Tony lagging a fair bit. Zabby up to third. That is the final laps. Ascalios will be no better than 6th. Fox Blue, his teammate, is off the track. So a mistake. Ooh, I believe that's Elmerix. Elmerix has spun out of turn 8. Tony into the pits. Tony will not be improving. Bit of a visual distraction there for Billy as Elmerix rejoins the track. See if that was enough to put him down on his current lap time. Yes, it is. Has invalidated. Stabruli has invalidated. Spritzy up to 5th, ahead of Elmerix, who won't be improving. Fox Blue again running off track, not sure exactly what he's doing. Evan is invalidated, and I believe that might be it for qualifying. Indeed. With Elmerix invalidated, Fox Blue off on a little off-track escapade, and Evan also not on a lap. So, Billy on pole. Which I believe... I'm going to check the results from last round. He was on pole last time out as well. I believe this is at least the second pole of the season, if not more. In fact, I believe he's had 4 or 5 poles this season. Seemingly the master of qualifying. So that is 5 out of 6 poles for Billy by the looks. So a very good qualifying run for him. And the top 3 being within a tenth of each other looks like a very, very tight grid, with the margins being very small. And, you know, we've had a winter break, but even then, I don't think that this division is going to change anytime soon. It's going to be very close. Yeah, 4/10 and still 12th. This is a very, very close qualifying session that we've had. And, you know, it could be anyone's game with the way this track is. It's very easy to either make a mistake, or you can overtake quite easily in certain parts of the track if you're on better tyres than somebody. It's a lot of fun to drive around here, unless it rains. The rain is a very difficult situation around here because this track is pretty nasty for the warnings for track limits. So it's definitely not going to be the easiest of races for the drivers in terms of avoiding penalties. Let's see though about the tyres that the drivers are starting on. So Stewart, Big Man, the Racer, Valtteri, Steruli and Heather's King all opting for the medium compound tyre. I guess the big story is that the top three in the championship at this moment in time are all starting outside of a top 10. Well, nearly. Fox Blue 10th, Gersh only 15th, and Stewart 18th. So the top three in the championship have a lot of work to do if they don't want to be overhauled by people like Steruli or Xavi. Xavi could be in with a big shout of moving up a couple of places minimum in the championship if things were to end as they do. And Gerjo and Valtteri have made contact on the formation lap. I'm not sure who will have gone into who there, but that will probably end up being looked at by the stewards. Have to see what happens there. But yeah, people will have to watch out for Tony's lag. He's a little bit jumpy at time to time. And I believe, I'm not sure if that's an actual spin there or not. Seemingly so. Let's see. I believe riding on board with Tony off the line. Tony or Elmer? I'm going to ride on board with Elmerix off this start. As, you know, the midfield is the place to catch a lot of tough action. You know, starting a little bit further down the grid is not necessarily the best situation to be in here, as it is very easy to get caught on the inside of turn 1, as has been demonstrated in other divisions of the league, by which I will also make sure to promote at this point that you can still get into the Delta T Racing Discord through the link in the description. Anyway, let's see. 5 red lights for the Portuguese Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go. Elmerix has a better start compared to Spritzy. He is already up to 5th, looking up the inside of Xavi. Looks pretty uniform up the front. Elmerix goes a little bit deep. Xavi off the track. But Elmerix is past. Meanwhile, further down the field, Huss, little bit of contact there, and he's being T-boned by, I believe that's tyres. I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. The racer making positions, but Spritzy, Xavi, I believe that was Xavi he was caught up on. But Xavi, Spritzy and Huss all down the field. Evan already with a penalty. So far, let's see what penalty that is. It's a 3-second penalty for track limits already. Valtteri on his outside. Evan is past on the soft tyres. Valtteri does get the exit though. Things very moving. Meanwhile, I missed. Elmerix up to 3rd. It is a 2-3 for the Aston Martin pairing right now. Tony is pretty laggy. Might have to send that one into steals myself. Yellow flags seem to be popping in and out in Sector 1. But let's see who is the biggest winner after lap 1. Looks like Valtteri has made the most positions after lap 1. Valtteri, Lejek, and many others up 3 or 4 positions. But the big losers being Headless King, Spritzy, Huss, and Xavi, all down many positions. Headless King into the pits for a front wing change. And that what looks like a set of medium compound tyres going onto the car. Billy up in the lead. Elmerix is past his teammate. Elmerix is past Tony. Elmerix on a charge in that Aston Martin. He's up 4 positions so far, and will look to close in Billy before the DRS. Gunnar is also past Tony. Tony seems to be struggling a lot right now. Maybe understeering. Yeah, he's missing a front right end plate. Tony has made contact with somebody somewhere, and he is missing his front right end plate. So that is bad news for Tony, who will surely be into the pits at the end of his lap. Very close there between him and Askelios. Potential contact, maybe. Not sure. Fox Blue using some overtake to get past tyres there into turn 1. Fox Blue up to 5th. Great start for him. He is making the progress he needs to, as is Stewart on the mediums. You need to mitigate their potentially poor qualifying, as that's tyres. Tyres is round out of turn 4, that is. Very difficult corner. Spritzy, Dan Glebbles, and Tony in the pits. So, both Alpines in the Discord saying, oh, you might want to focus on us. And here we are, so, you know, good job from them. Spritzy opting for the hards, which will be supposedly interesting to see how that turns out, as does Tony. The rest of the field on the tyres they started on, but Billy stretching an advantage up out in the front. He has a healthy 2-second lead over Elmerix, and then Gunnar in the AlphaTauri. And then the Mercedes pairing of Askelios and Fox Blue. But Fox Blue looking to pass his teammate of Askelios to try and hunt down the lead group. Stavrilio, meanwhile, past Valtteri on the mediums. Gojo having a look at Valtteri as well. Up the inside of turn 3. Changes to the outside of turn 4. Has the better exit. Tries to go round the outside of the hairpin. Can't make it stick. Billy up. No, Stewart, sorry, up his inside. Tony and Headless King past tyres, who was in the pits after that spin on at the start of a lap. But lots of midfield action with Stavrouli at the head of a fairly large train, and then in a bit of a world of his own. But again, on a 3-second penalty. Elmerix also on a penalty for track limits, I believe. Let's see how many seconds. Yes, that is a penalty for track limits. Elmerix managing to close the gap slightly. Fox Blue with the fastest lap of the race so far. Has made it back past Askelios. Lejek is now past Askelios as well. Lejek making good progress. Has used a lot of ERS though. Who will be looking to follow Fox Blue through the field. Who is catching up to the back of Gunnar and Elmerix, who looks like he is struggling a bit to keep pace with Billy. Let's see, further back. That Big Man and Valtteri side by side. Yes, it is. Big Man not having the greatest exit. Xavi having a little peek there on the soft tyres, looking to make up some positions after a poor start, dropping a lot of positions down the field. He will be looking to try and mitigate the poor start he's had, try and gain some positions up the field. A few people opting for the hards. That is, I believe that's Spritzy, who spun out of turn 4. Another victim of that very, very tricky corner. On the hard tyres, grip on them will be very minimal. Anyway, back up to the battle at the front. Fox Blue is in the DRS train of Elmerix and Gunnar. Lejek further 2 seconds behind that, maybe coming under pressure from the Skelios a bit. Evan's still out there in that little pocket of his own, running very wide out of turn 4. I'll be surprised if he didn't get a track limits warning for that. Stavrouli in 8th on the medium tyres, so he's the leader in terms of the alternate strategy runners. Then Gerjo in 9th, Stewart in 10th, Big Man 11th, Maltby 12th, and Zawi in 13th, with the racer in 14th, and Haas 15th. Then we have the people who are pitted for damage, being Tony, Headless King, Dan Glevels, Spritzy, and Tyres. All 3 of those 5 drivers opting for the hards. Huss getting himself a 3-second penalty. But so far so good for Billy in terms of his race. Nearly 3.5 seconds clear of Elmerix now, who's coming under prep from Gunnar. Has the overspeed down the inside into turn 1. Goes deep though. Elmerix has made the switchback and he's maintained position. Great defense from Elmerix thus far. This brings Foxblue into the fight some more. Elmerix goes very defensive into the hairpin, but he leaves the room for Gunnar to maybe have a sniff up the inside, but positions remain as they were for now, with Leje closing in by about half a second. Tony taking the fastest lap on the hard compound tyre, which is very interesting. Obviously looking to get back into this race as quick as he can. Try and mitigate some of the losses from having to change that front wing, but Billy is now 4 seconds clear at the front of the field. And he is stretching his advantage. Gunnar about 8/10 away. Oh, he's running side by side with Foxblue out of the final corner. I did not see that. But Foxblue using the slipstream of Elmerix in front of him. He is now past Gunnar. Maybe vulnerable into turn 3, but pulls things off very cleanly. Leje just out of the second gap he needs for the DRS. But Foxblue on a charge. They have closed up to Billy a bit in that first sector by about 3/10 or so. Elmerix starting to put some pressure, starting to close in a bit actually. He has just about eclipsed the gap for the DRS to Foxblue. I wouldn't be surprised if Foxblue gets back within that, which he has done so far. Leje in the gap. Oh, that's a yellow flag for one of the Alpines. I believe that's Dan Glevels. So Billy losing a couple of tenths to lap 2 Elmerix, with Foxblue, Gunnar and Leje all in that DRS train. Then 1.5 seconds to the next car of Skelios. And then Evan under attack from Stavrouli into turn 1. Can Stavrouli get the move done? Yes, he can. Leaves plenty of space, but he is well clear. And we may see some team orders come into play here between Evan and Gerjo. Indeed we do. Evan has let his teammate past. Though inadvertently he has also given Stewart the exit he needs. And there's contact there. There is contact there between Stewart and Evan. I believe Evan may have damage from that. That is unfortunate for him. I believe that will be maybe seen as the fault of Stewart, who did give Evan a bit of a squeeze there as they ran up towards turn 8. But see, big man on the back of Evan. see if there's some understeer. Billy into the pits. Billy has pitted. The first person to trigger the pit stops. Gunnar follows him in. Billy onto the medium compound of tyre. I'm not sure exactly how far you need to take the softs to get to the end on the mediums. Maybe the drivers know something I don't about the weather conditions towards the end of the race, but plenty of people now in for their first stop at least. Almeric's now into the lead out at the front. Xavi is past the big man into the hairpin. Gets a bit of a poor exit though. Big man might come back at him. Can't get alongside. So Stavrouli under a lot of pressure from Gerjo. Look, he's looking to regain some ground after qualifying. Tyres has obtained a 3-second penalty. Not sure how he's done that because he's been going down a straight. So he looks like he may be missing some front wing. Yes, he is. Almerix and Lejek into the pits. Fox Blue opting to stay out for another lap, as does Gerjo. Which I believe is a smart decision from Gerjo, who's in the DRS and is now past Stavrouli. Big man is past Xavi as well. Huss up to 8th, so 3 people opting to stay out on the soft tyres that they've been on since qualifying for now. Will Xavi have a go at coming back at the big man into the hairpin? Doesn't really have the overspeed for it. So Gerjo now leads a train of Stewart and Stavrouli. But Gerjo is a good 7 seconds off of his championship rival, Fox Blue. And it's not going to be easy for him to make up that time. Tyres gets another 3-second time penalty coming out of that final corner. And he's just driven into a wall. Interesting. I'm not sure why that's happened, but he's now missing his full front wing. And he is soon going to be lapped by Fox Blue. Gerjo is just about closing into that 6-second gap. Billy has set the fastest lap of the race on his fresh medium tyre. Almerix has opted for the hards. That will definitely be to the end of the race. He has been overtaken by Gunnar. And Lejek. Lejek's opted for the soft, so Lejek has definitely opted for the 2-stop here. As Almerix and Askelios opting for a fresh set of hards, Evan on a fresh set of mediums. So these two are definitely going to the end. We'll have to see what the medium runners do though. And Lejek has definitely locked himself into a 2-stop. Evan has spun. Evan is round through turn 1. Gone in the wrong direction there. But that's lost him a fair amount of time to his nearest drivers. A race that was going fairly well for him has unravelled in the last few laps. First with that contact with Stewart, and then with that spin through turn 1. Yellow flags lingering. Fox Blue into the pits. Gerjo staying out another lap, which is very interesting. Xavi also opting to stay out another lap. Huss gets the 3-second time penalty for warnings, but he has also opted to stay out. Billy has set the fastest lap of the race so far. Looks around the outside of the racer into turn 1. Can he get the move done? No, he can't. A bit of contact there between them. But he is through. Maybe looked into by the stewards, not 100% sure, but the net race leader is making lots of progress through some traffic right now. see, up at the front, Gerjo still leads with a gap of 6/10 to Stavruli. He's keeping pretty much equal. Not sure what's gone on there with Tony. Bit of lag as to who is behind and in front. Bit of Tony screen bug. I believe that will be looked. I believe that connection will be looked into by the stewards. Gerjo pits, which leaves Stavruli in a bit of a sticky situation. May come under attack from Stewart. No, he doesn't. But Stavruli takes a very compromised line, which costs him a lot of time. Will Stewart have a look into turn 3? No, he won't. Both of them going quite deep into there, though. Stewart not really close enough out of turn 4 to have a look with the DRS, even with maybe some overtake usage there. Meanwhile, Billy has passed Huss and has a 3-second gap to make up to Valtteri, which is his next car of traffic to overtake. And his nearest rival, who is pitted around the same time, is currently Lejake, who is, I believe that's maybe 6 or 7 seconds away, but closing rapidly on those soft tyres, as Tony has had that timing glitch issue again. I'm not sure what exactly is going on there with his car or his connection. Still, up to the front, Stavruli leads on the mediums, 6/10 gap to Stewart, who will close fairly rapidly along this main straight with the DRS. Enable the telemetry. He has absolutely no ERS deployment though. He has drained his DRS completely. See, big man in the pit. That is very early. I believe that will be for the hard tyres if he's going to go to the end. Another set of mediums. Big man is 2-stopping. Xavier onto mediums. Valtteri onto the hards. That will be to the end of the race. Huss onto the mediums. Plenty of interesting strategies on the move at the moment as Stewart is past Stavruli. I missed that. Stewart has passed Stavruli on the run up to turn 8, and he now leads the race with his teammates only 5.7 seconds behind those two leaders, but he is provisionally out in the lead by about nearly, what, 5-6 seconds. Lejake and Guna and Foxblue are the next 3 drivers, all in a bit of a train with each other, with Elmerix in that group as well. Stavruli has passed Stewart again along the main straight, so I believe we will see these two doing a bit of back and forth with the DRS. As the racer has opted to pit for the hard compound tyres. Tony has passed Valtteri as well. The racer comes out behind Huss, who is on a fresh set of mediums. Yeah. I definitely think Tony's internet will be looked into there, as he is, well, all over the place really. What can be said about that? Must be pretty hard for Valtteri to follow and overtake Tony. That looks like the kind of thing you'd see if you were playing McDonald's off of McDonald's Wi-Fi, or if you're, I don't know, or if your sim rig was in a Tesco, shall we say. Stewart making Stavruli take that compromise line into turn 1 again. Not close enough for an overtake. Let's turn on his telemetry. He is saving some ERS from the position he was in before, but Billy now only 4 seconds away, or within 4 seconds, with Lejek 6.8 seconds off the lead car of Billy, with the top two still yet to pit. Guna and Fox Blue, as they were, Almerix bringing up the rear of that group, will be being helped by the fact that he is in the DRS of the cars in front, as those hard tyres will not be nearly as good as those mediums or the softs in front of him. But Lejek is dropping back from Billy, even though Lejek is on a set of soft tyres, the only driver on the field on soft tyres at the moment. Maybe succumbing to the pressure of Guna behind. Let's see if Guna has a run at him. Seems to want a higher ERS percentage with Lejek light flashing. Opting not to use any ERS, but he does have a look up the inside of turn 1. Can't get the move done at that particular corner. See if he can get anywhere close up to the hairpin. Doesn't look to be close enough. Huss with the fastest lap of the race so far on the mediums. In the DRS of Valtteri as well. Has a penalty but could make up some positions. Yeah, penalties so far. Tyres on 19 seconds. He is a lap down to 11th. Dan Glevel's on 3 seconds. Evan on 6. The racer on 6. Huss on 6. Valtteri on 3, who looks to be struggling on those hard tyres. Tony on 3. Xavi on 3. And Elmerix on 6. Also, maybe struggling with the grip of those hard tyres. It's not an easy tyre to use around here. Ooh, that's Lejek into the pits. So that will be Lejek in for his final stop. Not sure how well it's going to work out for him, being one of the few drivers to be two-stopping, I believe. Yep, this looks like the first legitimate two-stop of the race, with Headless King tyres having to pit for damage a couple of times. So far, the big man is the biggest winner out of everybody, and I believe he will be going to the end on that set of tyres. It's very easy to... You can pretty easily do soft medium at any track on the calendar. As Dan Glebel's opting to pit. This is a routine stop for another set of mediums. And a 5-second penalty by the looks. I'm not sure if that's just some desynchro. It does seem to... Yeah, that's a bit of desync. Gotta love it from the Codemasters F1 game. Stabili now opts to pit. This will presumably be for the soft tyres to go to the end of the race. Indeed. As Fox Blue has now passed Guna. Fox Blue is past Guna into third position. And I believe that will be the highest Fox Blue manages to recover to in this race. This is a good damage limitation for him for his championship. Billy now within nearly a second of his teammate Stewart. Maybe playing the team game Stewart here, staying out the extra lap so that Billy can get some DRS to assist him in opening out that gap even more at the front of this race. He is now 8 seconds clear of his nearly rival. Oh, that's the racer. The racer has crashed out of turn 4 with a virtual safety car deployed. And it's graduated to a full safety car. That definitely changes things now. It's pretty much a no-brainer from here to just pit with a set of soft tyres. I believe Billy is lifting off to do that and double stack. Indeed, he is in the pits. And he has some of the gap that he will need to pull that off. But I believe that's going to be everyone coming into the pits now for the soft compound of tyre. Indeed it is, but that has played into Stewart's hands perfectly. As he is in prime position to capitalise from this, being in third, and his nearest championship rival ahead of him, Gerjo, being only 10th at the moment, so he will gain 24 points and be ahead in the standings. Interestingly, the big man opting not to pit, opting to stay out for track position. Same with Lejeik, opting for the mediums. Xavi also opts for the mediums, interestingly. Evan onto the mediums. Huff's coming down the pits now. I believe this will be for softs. Indeed. Headless King onto the softs. Tyres is a lap down to the lead two cars, so he will not be able to overtake and regain his lap, unfortunately for him. But Billy is in fourth with, he needs to get past Cerulli and Big Man as soon as he can to be in with a shot of, to be in with that chance he hasn't, well, to be in with a chance of winning this race now, who, as he has missed out. And his lead has been whittled down to absolutely nothing due to the safety car. Big Man had a 5-second penalty for a collision with tyres. And that is at the front. Tyres has retired in the pits also. Not sure what's gone on there, but I believe there was contact between the two under the safety car. Tony has a collision with Valtteri. There's a lot of, not sure what's gone on here. I believe people have illegal overtakes on each other. Valtteri off the track. I'm not sure exactly what's gone on here. Bit of a weird situation there. Evan in the pits. Onto softs, by the looks. Indeed, as is Xavi. They are now at the back of the grid behind Headless King. Hassan Dan Global's running a bit side by side into the hairpin there. Interesting. Let's see now. I believe, all providing if the drivers at the back of the field catch up to the back of the pack, the safety car should be in this lap. Looks likely that it will be. It may be a late call. We will have to see. I'm not sure how late the call will be for the safety car to be in, but we will see. At the front of the pack. Indeed it is. That's a late call for the safety car to be in this lap. Tony, another collision with Valtteri. I believe there is some lag and desync coming in there as he is ghosted currently. I believe Tony's lag is causing a few issues for himself, really. I'll have to see how that's handled in the stewards. Right on board with Billy off the restart. Stewart opting to go very late, but he has gone. And that's a perfect restart for Billy. Though he has had to lift off. I believe he got an illegal overtake. Never mind. That looked like a very good restart for Billy, but he has had to lift off. pokes his nose up at the inside of Stravilli, can't get past. Stewart is away at the front. Meanwhile, further back, Evan has a 3-second time penalty, I believe. Ooh, there's cars there getting damaged. I believe that's one of the Alpines getting damaged. Xavi squeezed to the inside of turn 4. Tony is past Headless King. So Tony is all over the place, ghosting through everybody. This will definitely be looked into by the stewards. But Stewart is way clear. Elmeric's up to second. I'm not sure what's gone on there. I believe Big Man is round. Big Man is round out of turn 8. I'm not sure if there was contact there or what, but maybe contact between Big Man and Stavrouli, who has dropped down behind Foxley. But Billy now needs to get past Elmeric's and get onto the back of his teammate to win this race. But he has a good 10 laps to do just that in a race where he has been dominant at the front. Tony with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Looks like he's missing front wing. Few people into the pits. Spritzy, Headless King, which was the Alpine we saw lose some wing, and Tony all into the pits after the restart, with Big Man in a bit of a world of his own now after that spin out of turn 8. See Xavi very close to Dan Global's, not close enough for a look. Elmeric's and Billy closing in on Stewart. Elmeric's has had the pace to be at the front of this race, so he could win it on track, but Billy is in position to take the win, I believe, with a bit of team play going on at the front. I'm not sure, we'll have to see, as Billy has definitely had the pace to win this race, but the virtue has been of that lap 20 safety car, handing it to Stewart. Billy's at the faster lap of the race now. 2 temps to Elmerick. Has a look at the inside of his turn 1. He has a look. Oh, he's round. He's been pinched onto the inside of the apex. And what could have been for Billy? You got to feel for the guy. You know, a point in the race, he was 8 seconds out in the lead. He looks like nothing could trouble him there, but Elmerix has just squeezed him onto the inside of turn 1, and that's Billy out of the points on track. Such a shame. But meanwhile, Stewart at the front with a penalty. Elmerix with a penalty. Fox Blue could be in with a chance to win this race now. Let's see how many positions he's gained, because I know he didn't have a great qualifying. Up 7 positions. So, depending on what happens with Elmerix in front, if there is a battle, if there's another bit of contact, or not, he could be in position to win this race, as could Stewart. I'll have to see how well he can pull away. He has to use a lot of his ERS. See if Billy has any damage. Not by the looks. Understood off the track a little bit. Let's have a look at the penalties of the drivers in front of him. 6 seconds for Dan Levels, 8 for Xavi. He should make back some good positions. Ooh, very, very close to running into the side of Dan Global's there at the hairpin. I think we've got a very frustrated Billy in this cockpit. And rightfully so after that contact with Elmerix. But with things the way they are for him, he could regain positions all the way up to 7th place with all of the drivers in front of him up to Guna, having penalties for track limits or contact with other cars or something. I believe it would be 8th after the stewards, as Gerjo's penalty is 5 seconds, and I believe he'll look into getting that removed by the stewards. See now, Billy right at the back of Dan Glebels, and he is through round the outside of turn 1. Oh, that's the Skelios. The Skelios is round through turn 1 as well. So a few people spinning around there, as Tony has spun through near the end of the middle sector. Back up the front though, it's looking very good for Fox Blue. Stewart needs an extra second or so to be passed. Oh, that's Zabby round. Zabby's round at turn 8. Billy now up into 10th on the road. He ideally needs to get back. He ideally needs to pass Valtteri and Gerjo. And he could be in with a chance of 5th. Which after the contact, I believe he would take. Meanwhile, Fox Blue is past Elmerix at the front. He's nearly in within the second of DRS of Stewart. Stabili is past Guna, I believe. Billy is past Valtteri. Does go off the track a bit though. But he now has to put his foot down, really. He's got 5 laps to get within 3 seconds of Guna. So ideally he needs to be around where Lejac and Haas are right now in relation to Guna to be in with a chance of 5th. Which could be more if Elmerix is penalised post-race after the incident of turn 1. Fox Blue just out of that DRS, Headless King with a 3-second time penalty. Don't think Fox Blue got DRS, doesn't look like his rear wing flap was open, but he did gain a lot of time to do it. Valtteri is out, Valtteri has crashed. Virtual safety car. Oh, another full safety car. And what a late call. That will be a godsend for Billy if he doesn't get a penalty. That has now neutralised the gaps to anyone in front of him with a penalty. I mean, you get it all in Division 3, don't you? I believe I think we've had a late safety car in most of, if not all of the races that there have been throughout this season. See, nobody looking like they're gonna pit, which is the smart decision to make, really. It's all about having track position in these late safety cars, as it is a very close and tough situation to be in. But Billy does still need to clear Gerjo. I believe we'll be getting that 5-second penalty removed. We'll have to see what happens with when the safety car goes in, but I believe it will be in sooner rather than later. We will have to see. Safety car stays out for another lap, so there will be a chance for Headless King and Tony to get a bit closer to the field. But I believe that it will be in at the end of this lap. Tony gets a 3-second penalty under the safety car, which is interesting. See, I believe it's pretty much signed, sealed and delivered for Fox Blue at this point for the win, and I believe Stavili is in position to take second place. A driver who is good at avoiding penalties, as he said in the Discord in past. I believe he will be in a good position to certainly be second place in this race. He could win it, depending on what happens with Elmerix and Fox Blue in front of him. Safety car is in at the end of this lap regardless, so Headless King and Tony still have to make up about... they'll be on the back of the field by the time the safety car is in and we look at getting back into green flag conditions. Yeah, they're on the back of the grid. Or the back of the queue. Right then, we will see now. Let's ride on board with Stavili off the restart. Got someone here to cheer him on. He has had the best of restarts though. He is under pressure from Guna. See, this is going to be a pretty tasty one into turn 1. Guna is through. I believe Stavili has done that tactically to let his rival pass. Elmeric's looking up the inside of Fox Blue though, and he has made the position on the track. Zavi is past Evan, Billy is past Lojek and Gerja. Billy, ooh, very late dive to the inside of the hairpin there. He gets a warning for it. That's not really what he needed. That was... oh my god, that was a heart-and-mouth moment. That was very close. Lejek defending from Gerjo. Skelios in position to make a lot of time up with the penalties. Billy having a look at Haas, forcing Haas to go on the defensive a bit. Goes for the dive at the inside. Can he make it stick? No, he can't. He gets tagged by Haas and is round. Oh, and he's out. Someone's made contact with him. What a shame. You know, that could have been another great comeback for... There could have been another chance at a comeback for Billy. Let's see now, on to the final lap now. Ulmerich and Stewart making contact at the front. But I believe this is Fox Blue's race to win now. I don't think there's any chance of Sabuli getting anywhere close or past. Elmerix and Stewart going hell for leather at the front. Elmerix clearly not putting into account that he is on 9 seconds of penalties, and regardless of how much he battles those in front of him, he's going to drop down the field. Yeah. A very unlucky day for some of the leaders, but you know, there are some it's a very difficult day to stomach for some people. Elmerix takes the win on track. Stewart moves ahead with the penalties, but Fox Blue takes the race win. Stabruli second, Stewart third, after a great recovery drive for both Stewart and a great recovery drive for all of the top three, all of them making 9 or more positions. What a race! Another very controversial and polarizing race. Stewart awarded driver of the day by the game, which I will agree with. He was in the right place at the right time to benefit from that lap 20 safety car, and from there he capitalized on it, really. If it wasn't for that 3-second penalty, he would have won the race. But that's the way it is. Still, Fox Blue wins the race, managing to avoid penalties and overcome Stewart and Guna. Stabuli second, Spritzy fifth, Lejak in sixth, Elmerich dropping to seventh with those 9 seconds of penalties after winning the race on the track. Gerjo in eighth, a good recovery from him after his qualifying to end up in the points. Then Glebels in the Alpine ending up 9th. Lots of people who started outside of the top 10 coming into position to turn some points. Xavi only 11th, Skelios 12th, Huss 13th, Evan 14th, Tony 15th, claiming the fastest lap though, Headless King 16th, Billy still classified in 17th after that contact in the second last lap, and then non-finishers Valtteri and both Red Bull's tyres and the racer out of this race. I will not be coming back to commentate for you guys next week in Division 3, as I have prior allocations, but I will be back the week after, so regardless of which, see you all later. Thank you for coming to watch Delta 2 Racing.